parasailing high above the ocean. It can be an adrenaline rush. I know I've done it. Perhaps you have as well. A thrill for tourists, a high-flying way to see the sights on a coastal vacation. But shockingly, there is little to no regulation for this particular very popular water sport. So Pompano Beach, Florida, for example, sisters Amber and Crystal White, they decided to try it for the first time. But what started out as an adventure turned in just a horrendous, horrendous tragedy. This video here, look at this. This was taken moments before this parasail rope broke away from the boat, causing the girls to slam into a building. 17-year-old Crystal suffered a severe head injury. Her little sister Amber was killed. This week, at the very same beach, a 28-year-old woman from Connecticut was killed while parasailing, falling 200 feet into the water after her harness failed. Amber's mother, Shannon Kraus, is joining me live along with her lawyer, John Leighton. So welcome to both of you. And Shannon, I know it's been a number of years, but again, I'm sorry for the loss of your daughter. And that is precisely why we have you on. Take me back 5 years ago. They're on the boat. What went so horribly wrong?
Well, they were put up with faulty equipment. There's no regulations. Anybody can do this. You can get a boat, and from my understanding, even the parachute that was used was supposed to be retired, and they basically were completely negligent.
Obviously, forgive me for interrupting. Obviously, we looked into this, and just to your point here, here's what we found for those of you who are wondering there at home. The only requirements for parasailing are the U.S. Coast Guard's approval of the vessel and a boating license. So these companies, you know, Shannon, who make the equipment that you're talking about, the harness, the parachute, the chutes, the tow lines, they have to meet certain safety standards. But what more are you now asking of them with this legislation that you've proposed?
I'm definitely asking for regulation. I think that the equipment should be checked regularly. I think that, you know, they should...
Well, John, jump in. Go ahead.
Brooke, you know, Brooke, the problem is that there's no agency that has any responsibility, real responsibility for the parasailing industry. So anybody can pop up and start one of these businesses. And what happens is you get rogue businesses, the ones that aren't even a part of the Professional Association of Parasailing Operators, who actually happen to be in favor of the regulations. The problem that we have in Florida, and I think the problem in a lot of states, is that legislators are so afraid of the word regulation that they refuse to pass any laws. And in the last several years, the last 4 years, we've been fighting to have bills passed. Each year there's been a bill that's come up in front of the legislature, and each year the bill has been killed in committee. So we can have legislation or we can have litigation. The problem with litigation is that bodies are buried after that. People are injured, people are killed. The legislation, this kind of responsible regulation, has more than proven that it's necessary. The mayor of Pompano Beach, where this tragedy occurred, again, 5 years ago and 5 years now,
saying this is inexcusable
for the legislature.
Of course, we reached out. We've also reached out to Senator Gwen Margulies, who says, you know, she will refile this Amber May law if she is reelected in November. In fact, here's specifically what she told CNN. This legislation and other legislation designed to make parasailing safer was killed by powerful legislators who railed about overregulation and too much government. This is now attempt number 3 here. This is attempt number 3 to pass some sort of legislation to regulate this particular industry in just 5 years' time. Shannon, why do you think it will pass this time around?
I honestly think it's going to pass because I think that there are more people that are aware that there's no regulations. We have hundreds of people emailing me every day telling me that they're behind, and most of all, I'm a believer in we the people, and I think that at this point we the people are fed up with this. I think the parasail industry should be held accountable for the things that they're doing. I don't think that anybody else should have to get injured or killed, and I just want to say I'd like to say that I've been grieving for the Miskell family, Stephen especially. I understand that he will probably never get over this, and I just really believe that people are tired of seeing families torn apart because of this terrible, terrible tragedy. I mean, my life has never been the same. My daughter's life, each and every family member, our lives have changed forever now. And I just really believe that, it's time. I have to believe that.
What we're talking specifically about Pompano Beach, Florida, there are other areas. I know we found that in Gulf Shores, Alabama, for example, the city there actually did pass this ordinance to help regulate the parasailing industry there. So that does require these operators to trim the lines, to follow manufacturer specifications. And it sounds like you're asking just for some of that elsewhere, so that other people don't have to undergo the loss, this tremendous loss that you've dealt with for the last 5 years. As we wait for that to happen, for people who are considering parasailing, who have no idea these dangers of which you speak, what do you tell them? What do you say?
What do I tell them? I tell them don't do it. Don't do it until there's some regulations. Don't do it until the Amber-May law passes. And then hopefully we can keep all of our vacationers from Connecticut or New York or out of the country. We can keep them safe. I think that the people that come here deserve to have the right to know that there's no regulations, and then I think they deserve to have the right to get regulations.
Don't do it. 3 powerful words spoken from a mother who knows. Shannon Kraus, Sean Leighton, I thank you both.
I thank you so much.
Thank you.